The stickman blinks and suddenly finds himself in a prehistoric jungle, surrounded by giant ferns and distant roars. His goofy wide eyes grow even bigger when a T-Rex stomps into view, shaking the ground. He panics, arms flailing, then tries to hide behind a rock that's way too small. Of course, the dinosaur spots him immediately, and the stickman lets out a silent cartoon scream before sprinting like his life depends on it. He leaps across fallen trees, his stick legs wobbling at impossible angles. A raptor pack joins the chase, their claws tapping rapidly as they close in. The stickman grabs a random branch and waves it around like a sword, his face twisting into an exaggerated warrior expression. The raptors pause for a second, confused, then all pounce at once. The stickman squeals and bolts again, leaving the branch behind. After a chaotic escape, he stumbles into a volcanic field, smoke and ash rising all around. His spiky hair catches tiny sparks, making him yelp silently while slapping at his head. The ground trembles as lava flows nearby, and he balances on stones like a cartoon tightrope walker. His goofy, panicked face gets uglier when molten rock splashes dangerously close, and he tiptoes faster until finally diving behind a boulder. Time suddenly jumps forward, and he's in the Ice Age, shivering dramatically as snow pelts his stick body. He wraps himself in a torn leaf like a blanket, teeth chattering comically. In the distance, a massive woolly mammoth stomps through the snow, and the stickman's eyes shine in awe. He waves both arms like a maniac, only to be blasted by a freezing wind that sends him rolling like a snowball down a hill. When he stops rolling, he crashes into a saber-toothed tiger that growls in his face. The stickman freezes, crossing his eyes and giving a weak, goofy smile. He slowly lifts one hand to pat the beast, but it snarls and pounces. In a blur of cartoon panic, the stickman sprints across icy ground, slipping constantly as the tiger chases. He tumbles into a frozen lake, his ugly, terrified face distorted in the ice below. The scene shifts again, and now he's in the Stone Age. Cavemen wave clubs at each other in a chaotic brawl, and the stickman gets caught in the middle. He's smacked on the head, eyes spiraling like dizzy cartoon swirls. He tries to grab a club himself, but it's way too heavy. He swings it anyway, spinning like a helicopter, before collapsing in a goofy heap. The cavemen stare, confused, then resume their fight. Suddenly, he's in ancient Egypt, standing beside the pyramids. He tries to pose heroically like a pharaoh, but a giant block nearly flattens him as workers drag it past. He scrambles up the pyramid like a stick lizard, ugly, panicked face stretched in shock. Halfway up, he slips, flails his arms, and bounces all the way down like a cartoon ball, landing in the sand with his tongue sticking out. The stickman tumbles through time again, landing in ancient Rome. Gladiators clash in a massive arena, and he gets pushed into the Colosseum. His terrified, goofy face lights up when the crowd cheers, thinking he's a fighter. A massive opponent charges, and the stickman squeals, picking up a tiny shield that barely covers his face. He ducks just in time, stumbling out of the way as the gladiator crashes into the wall. Next, he's in the Middle Ages, wandering into a castle courtyard. Knights joust on horses, and the stickman tries to ride a donkey like a champion. Of course, the donkey launches him into the air, and he smacks right into a catapult. With his ugly, screaming face frozen in panic, he's launched across the battlefield, flying over knights and landing face first in a haystack. His goofy, crossed eyes pop out as he gives a weak thumbs up. The timeline shifts again, and now he's in the Renaissance, surrounded by painters and inventors. He grabs a paintbrush and tries to copy a masterpiece, but his stick drawing looks like a child's doodle. He proudly shows it off with a crooked grin, but everyone laughs. Embarrassed, he hides behind a statue, only to accidentally knock it over, shattering it into pieces. His face twists into horrified comedy as he tiptoes away. Now he's in the Industrial Age, coughing dramatically as smokestacks tower around him. He tries to pull a lever on a steam machine, but it explodes in his face, leaving him covered in soot with wild, messy hair. Workers chase him for breaking the machine, and he scurries through the factory, slipping on gears and tumbling into a pile of coal. His goofy expression, blackened face, and glowing white eyes make him look like a cartoon ghost. He fast-forwards to World War times, where planes zoom overhead and tanks roll through muddy fields. The Stickman panics, salutes awkwardly, then dives into a trench. Explosions send him flying, his hair blown back comically. He grabs a helmet way too big for his head, sliding down over his eyes. He stumbles blindly, bumping into soldiers who shove him back into the chaos. His ugly, terrified face makes the danger absurdly funny. Another leap forward, and now he's in modern times. Cars honk, skyscrapers cower, and people stare at him in confusion. He tries to cross the road but gets nearly flattened by traffic. His goofy arms flail as he dashes between cars until he finally clings to a lamppost, panting dramatically. His face twists into frustration, then into shock when a pigeon lands on his head and refuses to leave. The Stickman is suddenly in the near future, surrounded by neon cities and flying cars. His jaw drops in awe, goofy grin stretching wide as robots zoom past. He tries to ride a hoverboard, but instantly flips upside down, spinning helplessly until he crashes into a hologram sign. His spiky hair smokes as he gets back up, wobbling with dizzy eyes. Still, he waves dramatically like he meant to do it. Finally, he lands in the far future, where humanity battles with advanced technology. Giant mechs clash in the background, and the Stickman grabs a tiny laser sword, striking a heroic pose. The sword flickers and dies, leaving him just with the handle. His goofy, shocked face says it all, as a robot towers over him, but instead of fighting, the robot laughs, picks him up, and carries him off like a toy.